Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash are often compared and debated in the crypto community, and for good reason. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of what distinguishes these two popular cryptocurrencies from one another. And yes, they are indeed two different cryptocurrencies. Both of these digital currencies have been making waves in the world of crypto. But what sets them apart and which one might be the better investment for you? Let's find out. Welcome to Knowledge Pilot Overview. Ever since Bitcoin's inception, there has been a nagging concern surrounding its ability to scale effectively. After all, transactions involving Bitcoin rely heavily on blockchain technology, a decentralized digital ledger that records transactions, verifies them, and stores them on computers all around the world. This means that all transactions are verified by majority rule, not by an individual actor, making it a truly revolutionary ledger recording technology. Despite all its potential, the Bitcoin network has one major issue. It is slow. When compared to banks that deal with credit card transactions, the blockchain technology used in Bitcoin can seem sluggish. Take Visa for example, which processes an average of 564 million transactions per day. That's a staggering 6,527 transactions per second. In contrast, Bitcoin's blockchain can only handle a tiny fraction of that volume. The result? The Bitcoin network has been struggling to keep up with increasing demand, leading to delays and skyrocketing transaction fees. So while Bitcoin remains a compelling innovation, it's clear that scaling remains a significant challenge for the network. Will it be able to overcome this obstacle and continue to revolutionize the world of finance? Let's dig a little deeper. How fast is the Bitcoin network? At the beginning of 2022, the Bitcoin network could process 4.5 transactions per second. This clearly illustrates one of the biggest issues that Bitcoin faces: the time it takes to process transactions. This has resulted in frustrating wait times that can stretch on for several minutes or more. This slowdown is largely due to the network's inability to scale effectively. As the number of transactions increases, the underlying technology that processes them remains the same. It's a classic case of demand outstripping supply, and it's led to some heated debates within the Bitcoin community. At the heart of these debates is the question of how to improve the speed and efficiency of the transaction verification process. It's a complex issue, and there are no easy answers. However, as more and more people embrace Bitcoin, finding a solution becomes increasingly urgent. Developers and cryptocurrency miners have come up with two major solutions to this problem. 1. Reduce the data. To speed up transactions and reduce costs, one approach is to reduce the amount of data that needs to be verified in each block. This can be achieved by making the blocks smaller, which means they can be processed more quickly and at a lower cost. In other words, by reducing the amount of data that needs to be verified, transactions can be completed faster and with less strain on the network. 2. Increase data block size. Another way to tackle the issue of slow transaction times is by increasing the size of data blocks. By making blocks bigger, the network can process more information at one time, which can result in faster transaction processing. Essentially, by expanding the capacity of each block, the network can handle a greater volume of transactions, potentially reducing wait times and improving overall efficiency. Enter Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash, or BCH, was born out of a sense of concern about Bitcoin's future and was created by a group of miners and developers who wanted to find a way to scale the network more effectively. One of the most significant differences between the two cryptocurrencies lies in the size of their blocks. While Bitcoin blocks are limited to a mere 1 MB, BCH blocks can be up to a whopping 32 MB. That means BCH can handle a much larger volume of transactions, potentially making it a more attractive option for those who value speed and efficiency. But will these differences be enough to give BCH the edge over its most established rival? How is Bitcoin addressing the problem? During July 2017, a significant development occurred in the world of Bitcoin. Mining pools and companies responsible for around 80% of the cryptocurrency's computing power voted to adopt a new technology called segregated witness, or Segwit for short. So what exactly does Segwit do? Put simply, it reduces the amount of data that needs to be verified in each block by removing signature data from the transaction block and storing it separately in an extended block. This change can have a major impact on transaction processing times. as signature data has been estimated to make up as much as 65% of the data processed in each block. But this shift to Segwit is certainly not insignificant, and its effectiveness in addressing the challenges faced by Bitcoin remains a hot topic of debate. In 2017 and 2018, there were discussions about increasing the size of Bitcoin's block from 1 MB to 2 MB. As of February 2019, the average block size had already increased to 1.305 MB, which was a new record. By January 31, 2022, the average block size was 1.39 MB. The bigger block size can be beneficial in terms of making Bitcoin more scalable. In September 2017, BitMEX, a cryptocurrency exchange, published research that revealed how Segwit adoption had helped to increase the block size. This was happening at a consistent rate as more people adopted the technology. There were proposals to both implement Segwit and double the block size, which were referred to as Segwit 2x. How is Bitcoin Cash addressing the problem? Bitcoin Cash is a crypto spin-off that emerged from the minds of pioneering Bitcoin miners and developers, who were determined to ensure the scalability of their brainchild. However, they weren't entirely convinced that the adoption of Segwit technology was the way forward. To put it simply, they thought Segwit 2x was like slapping a band-aid on a broken leg. It didn't fix the fundamental issue of scalability, nor did it align with the original vision of Satoshi Nakamoto, the mysterious founder who invented the revolutionary blockchain technology underpinning all cryptocurrencies. To add to the drama, the implementation of Segwit 2x as the way forward was shrouded in secrecy, and many questioned whether it went against the principles of decentralization and democratization that underpinned the very essence of cryptocurrency. In a bold move in August 2017, a group of miners and developers rebelled against the status quo and initiated a split, resulting in the birth of a new currency, Bitcoin Cash or BCH. This new digital darling boasted its own blockchain and unique specifications, setting itself apart from its predecessor in a major way. It is fast. To accelerate the verification process, BCH implemented a larger block size of 8 MB, along with a flexible difficulty level to ensure its survival and transaction speed, no matter how many miners supported it. BCH continued to evolve, with its maximum block size quadrupling to 32 MB as of March 2022. One major advantage of Bitcoin Cash is its ability to handle transactions at a faster pace than its predecessor Bitcoin. This results in reduced wait times and lower processing fees for users. In fact, the Bitcoin Cash network is capable of processing well over 10 times more transactions per second than the Bitcoin network. However, the challenge isn't solely about increasing the number of transactions per second. Centralized databases like Visa, for example, are equipped to handle around 1,700 transactions each second. The main problem is that Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and other cryptocurrencies aim to compete with those speeds while still maintaining an appropriate level of decentralization. But decentralization comes with costs to performance and security. Thus, scalability solutions need to increase the network's performance while maintaining the blockchain's other desirable properties. Otherwise, the blockchain isn't anything more than an inefficient database. Market cap of BCH versus Bitcoin. Another potential drawback facing BCH is that Bitcoin remains the world's most widely adopted cryptocurrency and has the largest market capitalization, meaning that BCH users may experience lower liquidity and limited real-world usability compared to Bitcoin users. As of March 2023, BCH had a market capitalization of around $2.6 billion, placing it at the 28th spot in the cryptocurrency market rankings. Meanwhile, Bitcoin dominated the market with a massive market cap of around $542 billion, more than twice that of its closest competitor, Ethereum, which had a market cap of $225 billion. Alright, you see, while Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash share some similarities, they have significant distinctions that can impact their use and value. What is the total supply of Bitcoin Cash? The monetary policy of both blockchain networks remains the same. Only 21 million coins will ever be created on each blockchain, and the issuance of new coins is halved every 210,000 blocks or roughly every 4 years. The last Bitcoin in BCH are projected to be mined in 2140. As of March 2023, the circulating supply of both was just over about 90% of the total supply. What makes Bitcoin Cash a good medium of exchange? Bitcoin Cash allows for peer-to-peer transactions between individuals, similar to cash but in a digital format. The fees for sending Bitcoin Cash are usually just a fraction of a cent, and the settlement is almost instantaneous, regardless of where the participants in the transactions are located physically. These characteristics make Bitcoin Cash ideal for everyday transactions, as well as for microtransactions. Always remember to do your research and stay informed when it comes to investing, especially in cryptocurrencies. We hope you liked this video. If you want more, check out our other videos on the screen. Thank you for watching.